Hi everyone, I am in the middle of working on the cover for William the Last issue 2. So William the Last is the story of a boy who grows up on an island with his grandfather, and it's kind of a deserted island, and when his grandfather dies he climbs to the top of this mountain and finds himself in this kingdom where his name has been forbidden from being spoken and a tyrant is ruling. So if you're not familiar with William the Last, this is the one I've been putting up on Webtoon, which will resume probably next week. It's been about a month since I put anything up there, just busy with G.I. Joe stuff. But it has I've got a publisher for it, and it's going to be, I think, a maxi series to see how it does, which means you should go buy it so that it will continue to be published. So I don't think it's supposed to come out till September. The first issue, the cover and everything's done. So they want covers for subsequent issues. So I am doing a cover for issue 2. Just thought I would go through a little bit and just the thought process behind it. So this is the basic thumbnail. I did a few, but this was actually the first one I did. The first cover is going to be, if you've seen the one, that it's basically, let me see here if I have it pop up here. Oh yeah, this one. So I'm going to take me away for a minute. Obviously without the live chat, but that image is going to be the covered issue 1. And the reason was I've had such a strong reaction over the last couple of years from that image that I figured it would be a good way for people to recognize it who've seen it before and are familiar with that. I have prints of it. People buy prints without even knowing what it's from, and they ask what it's from, and I can tell them about the book. So it's a pretty strong image. It's also like page 6. So typically I wouldn't use a page from the interior of the book to do the cover, but it's been such a strong response and it's become associated with it that marketing-wise, it's kind of stupid not to use it. So from here on out, issue 2, this is what I've got going on. Still going with the smaller figures here, and I've got to introduce the 3 guys in purple. And so after I went through, let me see if I can figure out my so one of the things about doing thumbnails is your thumbnail, there's going to be an aspect to your thumbnails, whether you're laying out a commission or whatever you're doing, it's going to have some energy and some feel, and there are going to be shapes in there that just worked, and it's why you liked it in the first place. And then when you go to ink it or draw it over, and I'll take this away, let me see if I can adjust this here. I'll take away the original thing. See, and this is what I did for when I originally got it. I kind of was doing a secondary sketch, right? So the pencils, without realizing it, I changed the shape of these guys. I got all the way through and then went back, and when I looked at the original, that shape is just much more menacing. It's just a better overall shape. It kind of plays into their being kind of, apprehensive and stuff. And that played with them running, but I don't think I'm gonna have them running. Well, I know I'm not, because I've already did it. So once I went back, and you always got to be there's a layer just to turn everything blue so it's easier to see. I went back and redrew it. That's the nice thing about digital, is that it's fast, and you can take care of mistakes pretty quick. So get rid of the old. So then kind of have, as I went, I kind of incorporated their shoulders down into like almost, this is kind of a cave with the things hanging down, little pointy things, looks a little menacing. I'm gonna have birds kind of coming out of here, because if you read the story, you know that the bad guys ride giant hawk things. So I'm gonna have some birds coming out of there. And then let's see, where was I? So there I went through and put the 2 characters, William and Ella, kind of in that thing, as if it's kind of, at this point in the story, everything is bigger than them, and things are kind of, menacing. So I wanted to kind of put them in that situation. And then, so we go over with ink. Let's take the blue line. Oh, not that one. As you can see, my layers here are all over the place. So this is kind of, I was worried about this tangent. It's not really a tangent. It's just kind of don't know. I may shorten him and put him back there. I haven't decided yet if that's too much of a tangent. It may be. So, but then I've got to go in and put the city behind it and just kind of sketching that in. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'll do a little bit of that while I'm doing the video here. I've been going back and forth using different, just experimenting with different marker things in Clip Studio. So my I'm just going for overall feel, and since this is going to be the background, it's going to be, I'm going to push it back in the colors too. There's going to be like an atmospheric kind of layer over things. So I'm not trying to make it too detailed, too perfect, and it's also way in the background, so you don't want your stuff in the background to be too detailed. It would be too busy. Got kind of a bit of a funk this week just with drawing. One of the things that I look at a lot of art, and I'll read like some art blogs, people that review art and post old drawings from the 20th century illustrators and things, and go over about why this is so good and stuff. You look at it, and you go, yeah, that you're right, that stuff is good. Then you look at your stuff and go, I'm definitely not that caliber. And it's good to do that. Just, you need to know what to work on and stuff, but you can get easily overwhelmed. And sometimes I get a little bit of a funk just because it's like, well, I'm not as good as I want to be. And if you're not careful, that can kind of get in your head. And then before you know it, you just kind of lost motivation or whatever. So it's good to kind of balance that. At some point, you just have to stop analyzing and draw. Where that point is, you've got to figure out for yourself. But if you start getting to the point where you're not wanting to draw, or you're just kind of down yourself, you need to step back, take a break, and then just draw. Just relax, because the things you do relax are going to be better drawing initially anyway. Kind of the same reason, again, why sometimes the thumbnail has more energy and stuff, because you're very relaxed, you're loose, and then you go to actually do the thing and you stiffen up, and it doesn't come out quite as well as you would have hoped. So that's kind of where I was this week, kind of trying to get out of a funk. And part of it too, I mentioned, finishing up G.I. Joe Real American Hero 253 out in June. Go order a copy. I penciled and inked that one. And I think just, doing a job penciling and inking is kind of stressful. And I was tired. And tired is also not a good place to be. You can get in a funk and then keep trying to going without taking a break. Now that drawing, that building I'm erasing because I put a tower in there, and then it looked like it split up into two buildings suddenly. A lot of this I'm leaving for the colors, since I'm coloring it myself. When I color myself, I tend to think ahead. Like, I know that I'm going to do a lot of stuff, a lot of details in the colors. So I tend to be very gestural and leave a lot of things that I don't know that would make sense if I had somebody else coloring it. I think they'd look at it and go, well, I'm not, what are you going for here? So on this one I can be a little bit faster. Just going for different kind of interesting building-ish shapes and whatnot. Now that connects too much with that vine. The thing I like about Manga Studio is it'll let you do, you can do the colors and everything in there. There's the indication of some buildings back there. So So I'm going through, and notice when you do the background stuff, you want to kind of vary your line weights from foreground, midground, and then background. Background would be thinner, much thinner lines. Line weights is very important for getting your depth, especially if you're doing something like robot stuff, or even with these buildings, anything where the similar kind of shapes overlapping. Like if I make this a little bit, now it stands out a little bit from the background. That one you can tell was further away. Some of these other like window shapes and hints of them kind of fade out as they get towards the ground. I'll probably have a mist down there, and it'll give a little distance between. So that's kind of. So when you're doing a cover, always leave room up here, like some negative space for the title and the logo. So you want your main things to be right around there. You don't want to fill up the whole thing. Things are going to be covered up. So that's kind of where I am. I got to get this done by tomorrow, so I'll go in and color this. I may do another video of me coloring it if anybody is interested, but I've got to go through and draw the birds coming out, and that may not even work. And once I draw it, we'll see how it works. But that's kind of what is on the drawing table for the Cintiq today. And as usual, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Go order G.I. Joe Real American Hero 253, and be on the lookout for William the Last #1, I think, in September, as of now. So, all right, I will see you all tomorrow.